You walked into that garden center and saw it, Lee. A thick, glowing, neon golden curtain of creeping Jenny, cascading over the edge of a hanging basket like liquid gold. You brought it home. You watered it. You placed it in your yard. But within 2 weeks, that electric gold turned into a dull, flat, boring green. Or worse, the leaf edges started going crispy and brown like burnt paper, and you blamed yourself. You should not have. Because the problem was never you. The problem is that nobody ever told you the actual plant science behind this specific plant. Every basic guide you read gave you the same 3 words: water it regularly. And those 3 words are exactly what sent your creeping Jenny into a slow, quiet decline. Today, that changes. We are going to go deep into the real biology of Lysimachia nummularia, the botanical name of creeping Jenny. And I am going to show you 3 science-backed secrets that will unlock that intense neon golden pigment, fix your leggy hanging baskets, and turn this plant into a living shield that protects your entire garden. By the end of this video, you will never look at this plant the same way again. Let us talk about why your creeping Jenny is green right now instead of gold. This is the question nobody asks. They just accept the color change and move on. But the answer is the foundation of everything we are covering today. Creeping Jenny produces its signature neon, yellow-gold color through a specific group of pigments called flavonoids. These pigments are produced in direct response to light intensity. When the plant receives adequate bright light, it activates flavonoid production and the foliage glows gold. But when the plant does not receive enough light, it shifts into survival mode. It begins producing chlorophyll instead, the green pigment, because chlorophyll is more efficient at capturing whatever limited light is available. In other words, a green creeping Jenny is not a healthy creeping Jenny. It is a stressed creeping Jenny, telling you it cannot find enough light. Now, here is where it gets zone specific. If you are growing in the hot southern states, Texas, Georgia, Florida, or anywhere in USDA zones 8 through 11, your instinct is probably to give this plant as much sun as possible. That instinct will destroy it. In southern zones, the afternoon sun intensity goes above the threshold that this plant can handle. The leaf tissue loses water faster than the roots can replace it. The edges turn crispy and brown. This is called leaf scorch. And once it starts, it spreads fast. The protocol for zones 8 through 11 is 3 to 4 hours of direct morning, sun only, with shade afternoon. Morning sun has the right intensity to trigger flavonoid production without the destructive heat load. But if you are in the cooler northern zones, USDA zones 3 through 6, the rules flip. In these zones, afternoon sun is not dangerous, it is necessary. The lower temperatures mean the plant can handle all-day sun, resulting in the most intense gold color you will ever see. Your USDA zone determines exactly where that line is. Now, let us fix the second problem, the leggy, stringy, bald at the top hanging basket. Look closely at a creeping Jenny vine. The top of the basket, right at the soil line, looks thin. This is not a watering problem. This is a hormone problem. Every single vine is controlled by a growth hormone called auxin. Auxin lives at the very tip of each vine. Its only biological function is to push the vine forward longer and longer while sending a chemical signal back down the stem that keeps every lateral bud in a dormant, sleeping state. This means every vine is a one-way street. The fix takes 3 seconds. It is called strategic pinching. Using your thumbnail and index finger, snap off the top half-inch of any vine, right above a leaf node, the small bump where a pair of leaves connects to the stem. The moment you remove that tip, you cut off the auxin signal. The suppression lifts. Within 48 to 72 hours, the dormant buds at the nodes below the pinch point wake up and begin pushing out new lateral branches, typically 3 to 4 new branches per pinch point. One vine becomes 4. Your hanging basket transforms from a sparse, stringy curtain into a dense, cascading wall of foliage. Do this in early spring when the vines are just beginning to spill over the edge. That is the active growth window. Do not pinch during a heat wave, though. A stressed plant cannot redirect energy. Let it stabilize first, then pinch. Now we move to the third secret, the most underused trick in container gardening. Creeping Jenny is the ultimate living mulch. When you plant it at the base of a larger plant, a rose bush, a hydrangea, or an ornamental tree, the vines spread and form a tight, dense, woven mat over the soil surface. This mat acts as a biological shield with three distinct functions. First, it blocks sunlight from reaching the soil. Weed seeds need light to germinate. No light reaches them, no germination happens, no weeding for you. Second, it traps moisture. During the brutal summer heat waves that hit the United States between June and August, bare soil loses moisture through evaporation within hours. The Creeping Jenny mat acts as a physical barrier that dramatically slows that evaporation. Your soil stays cooler, stays moist longer, and your main plants experience significantly less heat stress. Third, Creeping Jenny has a shallow root system. It feeds from only the top inch of soil. It does not compete with the deeper root systems of your larger plants for nutrients or water. It lives on the surface, protects below, and feeds the beneficial microbial networks in the top layer of your soil. This is how professional landscape designers create those perfectly manicured, weed-free looks without spending hours on their hands and knees every weekend. Let us lock this in. Step 1. Diagnose your light based on your USDA zone. Zones 3 through 6, full day sun. Zones 8 through 11, morning sun only. Step 2. Start pinching. Find the longest vines, locate a leaf node, and snap the tip. Repeat every 2 weeks. Step 3. Place Creeping Jenny at the base of your container plants as a living mulch layer. Let it spread, let it cover, let it work. You are not doing anything wrong. You are just working without the full picture. Now, you have it. Comment below and tell me, is your Creeping Jenny currently green and losing color? Or is it leggy and thin in the basket? Drop your USDA zone too, and let us figure out your exact fix together. I read every single comment. Next week, we are covering the one watering mistake that is quietly killing the root system of your most expensive container plants. You will not want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and happy gardening.